First of all, what's it like being back in South Africa?
Yeah, it's lovely. Got some sunshine out here and yeah, enjoying it so far.
Yeah, you've escaped the -5 temperatures here. You've gone at a good time, I think.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
what are what are these weeks like for a player? You go more than 10,000 miles for one game. You're there for 5, 6 days. The players as a squad, a lot of travel, a lot of difference. What's it like for a player in this scenario?
I think it's enjoyable. I think it's good for a squad to mix socially together for a whole week. I think it's good for your team culture and it's a big challenge, so it's enjoyable.
You're in the last 16 already of the Challenge Cup. What sort of game are you expecting this weekend?
No, it'll be physical like any South African side. They'll come out fast and be very physical, like I've said. So that's basically what we expect then.
The Lions in Johannesburg, or what different proposition to perhaps the Lions when they tour suggested, different sort of side.
Yeah, they'll definitely back themselves being at home on altitude. But it's going to be hard, but we don't make any excuses of that.
And what's playing at altitude like?
Oh, I know. I'm one of the heavies, and it's yeah, it's tough, but I think it's all about your mindset going into it, really.
And it's the last game of a 13-game block. It's been a long slog for you. How's it been?
Yeah, I think we've had ups and downs, but I think we've actually done quite well in this block. We've seen some youngsters coming through that's done brilliantly. Some older boys that's done well too. So yeah, I think it's been good.
Lovely. That's great for me, Tom. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
Hey Tom, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Steph?
Yeah, good, thanks. I was just wondering how, obviously you've already qualified for the knockout stages, but how important is it that you obviously you back yourselves wherever you played, but how important is it that you have the last 16 game at home in Swansea?
Yeah, I think home advantage is a big thing. We'll take anything we can get from this game. We're going as well as we can.
Yeah, and in terms of this competition, and obviously there's a lot of good teams and it's a lot of rugby to be played, but is this a competition that the squad really feel that you can challenge in and go quite deep in and hopefully try and win it?
Yeah, we're going week by week, but we've been going well so far, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of younger players that have been handed an opportunity this season because of playing budgets going down and injuries and stuff. Which ones have really impressed you this season, Tom?
It would be unfair to mention them all. I'm scared I'd leave someone out, but there's been so many good ones. Morgan Morse has been great. I think everyone has seen what James Fender has done. There's loads of them. Honestly, they've all stepped up. I don't think anyone who's worn the jersey wasn't ready. So I really think that they've done well.
Yeah, and obviously you've been at the Ospreys for a few years now. You obviously still enjoying life in wet and windy South Wales.
Yes, yeah, I enjoyed. I think big part of it is we've got a great playing group with a good culture that makes it easier, and enjoyable.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for answering my questions and good luck for the weekend.
Thanks, Steph.
What's the advice you're going to give these young pups around you at the weekend? Big South African stadium, big South African crowd, altitude. What's the temperature going to be?
I think last time we saw it was about 27, around about there. Keeps changing. But to be honest with you, I don't think they need any advice. I think they're ready. They're professionals now, and they'll know what to expect. They'll be up for it.
Yeah. And is it right your lungs burn and your head goes in the altitude, or are you well enough conditioned for that to be a fallacy?
We've got a brilliant conditioning team under Simon Church, so he's done everything he can to make sure we're ready for this week.
Yeah. And I guess, is it a question of maybe calming the pace of the game, slowing it down a little bit initially, certainly?
We'll play our style of rugby we've played this whole season.
Yeah. Because if you get sucked into their style, it's probably going to make it a bit harder, isn't it?
Maybe, but I think as long as we focus on what we're good at, we'll be fine.
Yeah. And it's interesting, speaking of Toby, you know, it's like half term now, isn't it? You've got a 4-week break before the next one.
Yeah,
So there's a bit of incentive in that to finish on a high.
definitely. And it's nice being on. If you can get something from this game, you know, if you get a good result onto it, it's great for the team culture.
Yeah. And he talked a lot about culture, and you can see that in the way that people are fighting for each other.
Oh yeah, you can see. I think you can see it. Last week you could see it on defense, especially.
Yeah.
Boys just refused to concede, and that first 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes.
And that's one of the intangible things. It's not about money. It's not about star players. It's about the group.
Definitely.
And Toby seems to have done a good job of pulling you all together.
Yeah, I think the boys is really enjoying each other's company, especially this week now, you know. I think some boys it will be their first time playing this far from home. And I think everyone is enjoying it, and it's a special memories to have when you one day finish.
Yeah. They say that teams play in the manner of their coach. He's belligerent, obstreperous, stubborn, stern. All right, you're agreeing here, are you?
I am not.
But we see a bit of his, we see a lot of his virtues in the way the team plays.
Well, all I can say is he's created a great culture, and the boys are really playing for each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, great. Good man. Hope you survive the 27 degrees.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers.
I was just going to say one thing to you, really. Have you noticed any difference with some of the players that perhaps haven't been selected for the Welsh squad? Have they kind of felt a bit maybe more, not down, but kind of, has it galvanised them more, kind of wanted to point to prove this weekend? Have you thought about that at all?
You know, I think these guys are so professional. They don't try and prove points. They do it on a weekly basis. There's some guys obviously that was unlucky to miss out, but they've been great. You know, all of them that missed out due to injuries, some other omissions. Like Sam Parry, he's been brilliant. I think he's been on form. He's a very, how can I say this? He does a lot of extras. He's very professional what he does, and he'll continue doing that to give himself the best chance. And whether he's selected or not, I think he stays professional in that sense.
As a senior player, really, I guess you kind of come together as one when you have scenarios like this with disappointment like that, and kind of it's almost kind of benefited the Ospreys as well by having so many players available, I guess, now for your next run.
Well, I think if guys are disappointed about the selection, we'll put our arm around them and do everything we can to get them back into that group. If that answers your question.
Yeah, and so the scenario is you're sort of waiting on the game result on Saturday now before you come in on Sunday's match. Do you feel that'll change the kind of attitude of the way you approach the game from the start?
No, we'll approach this game like any other game. We know it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be physical. We know it's going to be fast. So we'll approach it in the exact same way. We'll give them all the respect they deserve.